So, what's up, y'all? Hey, this is Rodney, and I wanted to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, this is not a review. I'm thinking about, I don't know, I'm thinking about going live tomorrow because this is probably going to be probably the highest rated episode of the season and the most talked about episode of the season. So I kind of want to go live, but I went live talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and we were on there for 3 hours. And Beverly Hills not even like my show like that, like that, like that. Y'all know I go up for Atlanta. So if I'm thinking, I don't know, I'm gonna have to really work on my time management because this is getting out of hand. Um, I kind of want to go live though. I'm thinking tomorrow around 8 or 9 p.m. Of course, Central Standard Time. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it. Anyway, so this is not an actual review. However, I did want to talk about girl, mother, queen twirl. Shout out to Kenya Moore. Shout out to Team Twirl. But we have to get into some things tonight. Now, tomorrow, whether I go live or it's a pre-recorded, I really want to dive into the mess. I feel like there are some people who need to be um, just a little wig adjustment. Production at the top of the list. um, but I think there's a lot of things that need to be said. So I watched tonight's episode, and when I tell y'all, I don't, I can't tell you the last time I've had this much anticipation for a television show, an episode of a show that I watch. It kind of reminded me of back in the day. Remember when we used to always sit down and watch the shows live in real time, right? We wasn't watching no DVR. We wanted to catch it, when it came on because we wanted to be on Facebook tweeting about, I mean Facebook talking about it. Those who are on Twitter or whatever, app you were on or social media. I was turned my TV on at 6:55 p.m. For the most part, when I do watch like Atlanta, if I'm at home, I won't watch it from the beginning. Like what I'm trying to say is like I'll turn my TV on like at 7:40 or 7:30, right? Because I like to fast forward through the commercials. But this time, baby, I had that TV on at 6:55 and I was sitting right here on this couch. Girl, because I wanted to watch girl everything. And I I'm still kind of processing what just appeared on my television screen. I don't know why I'm shocked because we already knew it was happening. Once Kenya really confirmed that some things happened, right? And when she went to Tamron Hall, I was like, okay. Um, the biggest issue that I have out of everything, and Team Twirl, don't get mad at me. But girl, this is the thing, girl. I don't even care at this point because, girl, my opinion is my opinion and yours is yours. I think that Kenya was silly to do that on a day that was meant to be for her and her legacy, a celebration for her only. She claims that this was a legacy. She's leaving something for her daughter. Well, girl, I can't tell. I can't tell. I cannot tell. I cannot believe it, girl. I understand why Kenya did what she did. We'll go into more detail tomorrow. But I don't understand why she did what she did at. I understand why Kenya, what I meant to say was I understand why Kenya got so upset, right? Because when you kind of factor in where she was with production, not feeling protected, she's already voiced these concerns prior to even the season starting, right? But she was on Carlos King. He conducted an interview with Kenya. So these things about not feeling protected by production, her being by herself, So I could see why now this moment comes up, and now this woman on the scene is now talking about whips and pistols. And when I come to you and tell you that I have an issue with this new hire, from what Kenya said, they pretty much dismissed her feelings. You know, I think she went on to say that she felt as though they were treating her like a black Karen. So I can understand why Kenya got upset, because at this point I have no body on my side. I don't know why Kenya did that at her spa. I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I think it was stupid. I do. I think it was really stupid. To do that at your spa, girl, you were just complaining last year or in the interview that you did with Carlos King, basically saying how, they stripped you of your storyline. I think last year was supposed to be them showing her building her salon. Well, girl, now this dream that you have or had has come to fruition, and nobody's talking about Kenya Moore hair spa or salon or whatever it's called. Everybody's talking about what you did. Please don't get it twisted. We will definitely get into Miss Brandy Ethelson tomorrow. Please don't get it twisted. I'm talking about Kenya right now. We talked about what Brandy did last week when she started talking about whips and pistols, right? We're going to talk about her some more tomorrow. But right now, in this specific moment, I want to talk about Kenya Moore and her retaliation to her feeling unsafe, right? Girl, you did that at your spa. This was supposed to be a moment about you and you only. And you allowed that lady to work you up to the point of no return, to the point where you couldn't see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture was to celebrate you. When I tell you, baby, Kenya took it to hell, baby, not even took it to hell, baby. When I tell you, she was scraping the core of hell. When I tell y'all, we have to be honest. That's the only way I know how to be. I'm a grown ass man, and I love to say I'm team twirl. But at the end of the day, girl, I'm team Rodney the Voice, and team the Truth, and team the Cousins. Okay, I love Kenya. Y'all know I adore Kenya. I've never met her. I don't know her. Um, I saw her at BravoCon a couple of times from a distance. Well, she was on stage. Um, but I have to say that my initial reaction as this was playing out on my TV screen was a reaction of disgust. It was. I know a lot of people are upset at Cynthia, and we're gonna get on to Cynthia tomorrow. Cynthia, I'm gonna have to tug on your wig too a little bit. Um, but some of what Cynthia was saying about like you're bigger than this, you're better than this. I can understand why the girl's initial reaction to this was that of disgust. Portia, we're gonna have to. Portia was right in a lot of what she said in tonight's episode, but we're gonna have to tug on your wig a little bit too, because I don't know why you were so disgusted with with the stunt that you and Phaedra pulled. But we're gonna get into that tomorrow. This is about Kenya. Um, but I can understand why Portia, Shamia, Kelly, all the girls was like, "Girl, this is too much. This is too much. This is too much." Because that was how I was feeling too. Like, girl, this is too much. This is too much. Stop. 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 Like, you could tell that Kenya's eye was on demolishing Bethany. That was Kenya's goal. She had so much fire and liquor. When I tell you that Kenya was gone, girl, not to take away from what she did, because she did what she did. I got some questions for production. Girl, when I cannot wait to get production, girl. Production, you. Um, I felt like Kenya knew what she was doing was beneath her. And I felt like Kenya probably knew that what she was doing. I think she was questioning what she was doing. Maybe every time I looked up, Kenya had that liquor bottle in her hand. Every time I looked up, Kenya was taking a shot, having a drink. Even as I was watching Kenya, you could tell that Kenya had some nerves with what she was about to do. A part of me wish she wouldn't have done it. I do. A part of me wishes she wouldn't have done it. The part that really, really irritates me, that pisses me off, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there right now, is the simple fact that production, you overlook. This is the shit that I be talking about. Y'all hoes don't be consistent. Because I'm still trying to wrap my head around, even though I said this was about Kenya, now I got to tap on some other people while I'm already down here. You're not consistent. Because the same way that you should have taken what Kenya did, the same way you took what Kenya did seriously, you should have taken what Britt was doing seriously too. In the same way that I guess y'all chose to just kind of push Kenya to the side, release her to the community for the remainder of the season, is what you should have did to Britt too, if we're gonna be honest about it. And for the life of me, I cannot wrap my brain around how the hell do you get rid of Kenya? And for her replacement, you bring back Phaedra Parks, the person who told Portia that Candy and Todd were going to take her back to a sex dungeon and have their way with her. When I tell you, it feels like I'm in the Twilight Zone when I watch Bravo sometimes and I hear about the things that some of these people are able to get away with. If you're going to make a stance on something that you're not wavering on, then you have to stick to that stance. How do you get rid of Kenya? Because she showed some pictures of Brit. I guess we didn't see the pictures, but what the people say, she was gobbling on a little dick. How do you get rid of Kenya? But then you bring back Phaedra, who told Portia that Candy and Todd were going to take her back to their home, a sex dungeon, and bust her wide open. I feel like sometimes Bravo does things like this. Bravo truly original. They do things like this to pull at the emotions of the viewers. Because there's no way that y'all sat in a meeting and said, "What can we do? What can we do? What can we do?" And then y'all brought her back 3 weeks before the season ended. They say Phaedra's not going to be on season 16 that long. I just don't. I don't get it. But again, we're going to go more into detail tomorrow. Like I said, Team Squirrel Girl, it is what it is, girl. Girl, I don't even care about no stuff like that, girl. I'm telling y'all just as how I look at it as a grown ass person watching this TV, and these are my thoughts. I was disgusted at first. I was like, girl, this girl is really girl. What I was actually thinking was, girl, this bitch is really doing this. Girl, my God. When I tell you, baby, the way my heart was about to jump out of my chest, y'all do not even understand. I have probably not been this. The way my anxiety was set up during this episode was absolutely horrible. It was to the point. I'm gonna tell. I'm a tad bit sensitive. I am. It was to the point I was almost crying because I couldn't rap. It was to the point where I almost felt bad for Bethany. Because I know the girl is ghetto boots, okay? But even I was like, girl, like, girl, girl, you really just did this. But now, I don't care what Kenya did. Girl, the girl wanted the Kenya more experience, and that's what she got. I'm more of I wish she wouldn't have done it at her place of business. Girl, y'all meet up 35 times throughout the season. You could have did this, girl. I'm sure somebody was gonna have a slumber party. I'm sure y'all were gonna we're gonna have dinner, girl, again. I'm sure there was gonna be some trip. Girl, you could have done this at another time. To me, it's all about the timing. Like wrong place and girl, wrong time and definitely wrong place. Kenya felt unsafe. Kenya felt away. I think Kenya has been pissed off for a very long time at the treatment that she's received. I think the money, of course, like most people, when you make a decent amount of money, you will stick around even if you hate a job or you hate your bosses. We do it all the time. So it's not something that people don't do. But I think that Kenya felt disrespected. I think she felt unprotected. And this was the route that Kenya decided to go. It is what it is. I just wish she wouldn't have done it at her spa. That's really like my biggest issue now. Watching it, I was like, this is disgusting. This is trifling, Kenya. Girl, you really about to do some trifling shit like this, right? But it's almost kind of like the girls too. When you really think about it, the girls' reaction in the show was that of disgust. But when Kenya came down, I don't know if y'all remember this. Remember when Kenya basically was playing in our goddamn faces, and she um came down to Instagram and did a live, and we thought she was about to really spill some tea, and she really wasted our time if we're just gonna be honest about it. And all the girls, not all the girls, but the girls were in the chat showing support to Kenya. It was Portia. We were all in the chat together. It was Portia, not us, but I'm just all of us. Okay, but it was we saw Portia, we saw Drew, Shamia. I don't know if Kelly was in the chat, but I know Drew, Shamia, and Portia was. So I think that once it kind of wore off, right, they're discussing what happened. They probably sat back and said, okay, well, girl, it is what it is because, girl, you shouldn't have did what you did. And that's kind of where I am right now. It was just, it's like a range of emotions. You know, like you go through a roller coaster. That's really what it is with me. Like it's like a roller coaster. Like I was disgusted and I was like, well, girl, fuck her, because she shouldn't have did what she did. But then it's like, girl, you really did go that far. Then it's like, girl, forget that girl, right? And then it's kind of like, girl, you did what you did. And it's like, well, girl, they never had your back, so you took matters into your own hand. So, but it is what it is. Again, I just wanted to come here and say that I am about to go. People calling my phone, girl. So yeah, I'm about to go, and I will either do a pre-record. I kind of want to go live because I think it'll kind of be fun. But I just don't. I have to work on my time management. I'm gonna have to set an alarm tomorrow. Like every 30 minutes is a countdown. Like the longest we can go is like an hour and 45 minutes because this is a mess. And there are also other things I want to talk. I want to talk about the full episode, of course, in the review. Anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to come down here and just give a quick one too. And I will see you guys and girls, non-binary, non-gender conforming folk tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Bye, y'all.